One of the biggest challenges we face nowadays as a society is modern dating. See, we all know and we can agree on that dating sucks. Whether we have experienced it ourselves or we have single friends that's the only thing they complain about. That you create a lot of situationships, people ghosting each other. There's a lot of shallow interactions when it comes to dating, nothing too serious. And it seems like people are having a very, very hard time. You have men completely checking out of society because of the pressures too much. They have unrealistic expectations to meet, and women are basically just completely giving up to the point that they feel that they're going to die alone, they're never going to have the family that they want, or they will never find that partner that they can share their life with. See, it seems like we all looking for connection. At the end of the day, we're humans, and yet very few people can achieve that. And why? See, this is not only an American problem. I've talked to dozens of friends and acquaintances from different parts of the world, mostly Europe and South America, and what they can tell me is like they're experiencing the same thing. It seems like the Western world is having this dating crisis that is increasing the mental health problems. You see a lot of people being more depressed, both men and women, and that creates also the loneliness epidemic. And you have on the other side the situationship epidemic, that people don't want to truly commit because they have this fear of the better option out there. Like, okay, I'm dating, I'm with you now, but I'm waiting for something better. Because at the end of the day, many people see dating as playing poker. You know, you can play your hand right now, but you know that a better hand is coming, so don't fully commit to the hand you have at the moment, which is like very bizarre way of seeing things. And after me being in a relationship for over 9 years and recently becoming single, and last time I dated was back in 2013, 11 years ago, I realized that I was so oblivious of what's happening out there. Yes, true, I had single friends, but I never truly asked them how the whole experience was because it was their business. And nowadays I realized that it was like completely upside down. It has radically changed, and I wanted to figure out why was happening, why it's so hard for people to find somebody. And you see it a lot on Instagram and TikTok, a lot of funny, hilarious videos of people making fun of their situation, but that reflects a lot of the pain they're suffering, and almost like, okay, I laugh so I don't cry. I'm using this painful experience just to make a joke out of it and not be fully depressed. So after talking with people, dozens of people, single people, and trying to figure out what's happening, because I had a different reality based on what I've experienced 10-15 years ago, I came up with 5 different beliefs of why this is happening, and how we as a society, or you as a person, can actually see this. It's almost like zooming out of the problem and see it from a different angle, and maybe it will give you some insight of why things you can change that eventually will help you find that person. So let's dive right in. Number 1, and we can all agree on this one, is the unrealistic expectations. The world of social media and dating apps have shown us those top 1%, top 5% of both men and women, extremely attractive, either handsome men or gorgeous women with success, with status, with financial stability, or even extreme financial success. But that's what we see a lot. That's what it gets the most likes. That's what goes viral on social media. And then we have a distorted reality and perception that a lot of people are like that 20, 30, 40, 50% of the population are like that, when reality is only at 5% at best. But it would be closer to probably a 1%. So when we see those, when we see the kind of people that we are presented to on social media, then we say, okay, there are many out there, because I see different people with the same sort of values or standards or metrics, or when it comes to, again, appearances and status and money, then I can find that person. So we believe, or not we, a lot of people believe that they deserve. We are in a society full of entitlement. I deserve to be one because I for whatever reason they believe that they need to be with somebody like them. But here's the thing: when you put unrealistic expectations, when you listen to your ego rather than your intuition, you usually end up with the wrong person, whether you're a guy or a girl. If you're a guy and you look for this hot woman or this gorgeous girl, but at the end of the day she's toxic or highly drama or extremely jealous, then your life will be miserable. But you want to show to the world, look what I pull. It's not longer about what the values you have, but it's like, look what I got. And it's almost like signaling virtue, signaling status to other men or other women out there that you were able to pull such a attractive woman. And if you're a girl, you want to showcase that, look at this tall guy or this rich guy giving me the lifestyle or give me the status. And the guy can be a cheater, the guy can be emotionally unintelligent, but you would rather have somebody who's taller than everybody else just because he makes you feel better. But at the end of the day, that is not sustainable. That's why you see a lot of people getting in and out of relationships, because they're not choosing the right one. They're choosing based on their ego rather than their intuition. They're focusing too much on the outward beauty instead of the inward beauty. They're focusing too much on the measurable metrics, things that everyone can see: height, attractiveness, body shape, status, sort of many financials, money. You can see that, and everyone can see that, but can you see the inward beauty? Is a person honest? Is a person kind? Is a person caring? Is a person loyal? Is the person generous? If the person responsible? If the person driven? Those things are way more important than what the guy or girl show. And when people do that, they're setting themselves up for failure. Focusing too much on following too much the ego rather than intuition, and having unrealistic expectation will make people feel that they will never be able to find somebody. And that is very, very sad. And that is probably something that we all can agree on. And we need to it's not about settling down. It's not about settling. It's not about lowering our standards. It's just bringing those to more realistic expectations. Belief number 2. Seems like people have the inability to see what they can build with a different person. It seems to me that people are looking for the perfect piece of the puzzle. That piece that perfectly fits their lifestyle, that they don't have to compromise at all. They don't have to change anything, that there are no sacrifices to make, they don't have to change their lifestyle, and there are no trade-off, that the person you will come to their life and it's almost like a plug and play. Nothing needs to be changed, nothing needs to be adjusted. But that is not realistic. That is impossible. That does not exist. That is an illusion. And the problem here is that you need to take the good with the bad. People are not able to see the things that you can build with somebody that has some bad things, and that bad things can be minimal. That person can have like a quirk, or maybe that person is not as organized as you are, or maybe that person is not as driven as you are, or whatever the case, doesn't matter. But you need to take the good with the bad. Life together, relationship, is about compromises. Both of you need to compromise to some extent. Now, I'm not saying that you need to accept some major red flags or major deal breakers, but understand that you will never find somebody who has everything that you're looking for. No. But envision the life that you can build with somebody. See them as where they are today, and project based on what they're looking for. If their values align with yours, if the person is driven, if the person is ambitious, if the person is looking to always improve and grow and have a growth mindset, you know what you can build in the future. That person might not be financially where you want them at this moment, but you can see the projection where that person is going, where that guy is going. And if you're a guy and looking for a girl, you need to understand and realize that person, you can help them grow together. But you need to be able to see it and envision and take a leap of faith without waiting for somebody who checks all your boxes, because you will never find them. Belief number 3, and this is something that a lot of people get triggered because it is a common behavior that I truly do not understand. Dating multiple people at the same time during the early stages of dating. In the past, 10-15 years ago, this was not an issue, or at least I wasn't aware of this because dating apps were not a thing. You would date one, maybe two people at most at the same time, but mostly you would date one person and you will go 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 dates, and then after a couple months dating, talking to each other, you would see, okay, whether we make this official because we like each other and we can see where this can go, or see, I don't see this is going to work out, let's just move on and wish you all the best. Nowadays, but it was intentionality. When you date multiple people at the same time, you take the intentionality out of it. And I see a lot of dating coaches, especially for men, that they say that they should date multiple people at the same time. It is encouraged, it is expected for two main reasons according to them. One of them is like, well, the woman that you're dating is probably dating multiple people, so you should do it as well, which is just bullshit. It's like, why do I have to have a behavior because the other person have the same behavior? It makes no sense whatsoever. Why? I mean, it's like, okay, so I should be doing what other people are doing. Well, if everyone is having a bad time, if everyone is having below average results, and I'm doing the same thing that they're doing, of course I'm expecting the same thing. Why not? So dating multiple people at the same time makes no sense. And the reason number 2 is like, you don't want to overinvest in one person. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Well, what's the point of intentionality? What's the point of building a committed long-term relationship? It's just the intentionality. It's like, I want to see if things can work out with you. Now, I'm not saying that after the first date or even the second date, you are committed. No, but the more people you have on your back burner, the more people you date at the same time, the harder it is, because you create a paradox of choice, which is like, the more options you have, the harder it is to make a decision, and the more likely it is for you to be dissatisfied with the decision you made. So we see a lot of people getting in and out of relationships because they feel that after dating 5, 6, 7 different people, say, okay, maybe I'll be with this guy, or maybe I'll be with this girl. Their expectations are too high, because if they have so many options, then the option that they choose should be the best one, when in reality it wasn't, because they ignore some core things when they're comparing between the people that were dating at the same time. And sadly, this is a very common behavior, and it's repeated over and over and over, and people don't want to understand that they should just date 1, maybe 2 at the same time and just see where it goes. And if it goes nowhere, it's fine. But the problem is, you're having the same behavior, expecting different results. That's the definition of insanity. You're having the same behavior, expecting different results. Because guess what? Because we hear, well, everyone else is doing. So if everyone is doing it, I might as well do it as well. But guess what? I mean, do you want to have, if everyone is complaining about dating to begin with, then why do you want to do the same that everyone else is doing? If you really, really want to create a connection, if you really, really want to be somebody, you first need to choose the right person to start dating, instead of seeing, once again, what I mentioned just earlier, those measurable metrics right from the get-go. Get to know a person and see where you can take that relationship or that connection. Reason number 4. This is going to trigger a lot of people. A lot of people are going to feel a call out, or they're going to be sensitive about it. But I feel that there are a bunch of unhealthy people dating, a bunch of people that never did the work out there dating. And you might be one of them, and if you're not, you definitely know somebody who has done it. See, when I've talked to people that have, after they had a breakup or a divorce, when you ask them how they're doing, what's their plan, most of them will tell you, I'm just working on myself. And that is a perfect thing to say. And whether it's an excuse or something real, you as a person, I support you, because I know that they need to work on yourself, whether that is going to the gym or just going out with your girlfriends or anything. That seems like a very accepted thing to do and say. as long as you actually do the work. But it seems to me like most people are not doing the work. They're just waiting for time to heal, because we have this notion, this belief that time's a healer. Time can heal it all. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but time is not a healer. Time will numb you from the pain. See, the problem is that if you don't learn from your past mistakes, you will repeat the same cycle and the same story, just with a different person. Definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. See, when you refuse to learn and grow and use distractions, this could be social media scrolling, this could be watching TV, this could be drinking, this could be smoking, this could be, when you use these distractions to cope with things that are painful and difficult, you're ignoring the core issue. You're not really working on your boundaries or things that are going to be better for you next time. You're just sitting there waiting for time to pass, because you know that at the end of the day, it will numb you from the pain. Most people are not using this time to truly work on themselves and overcome that pain. They don't look inside and see. They don't take accountability. They don't say, okay, what did I do wrong? Why I keep attracting these people? So, and I feel that most people have been trapped in this cycle for so long. Whether because of lack of knowledge or they're unwilling to go through a painful, uncomfortable process. But the only way to break free is by having the hard conversation with yourself. See, you need to take responsibility and accountability, not only for your actions, but for the fact that you actually attracted that person to begin with. And once you do that, you start seeing life not as something that society gives you, but something that you choose for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are the one who decides how you live. You cannot give the power to society. You cannot give the power to a guy or a girl. You have the power to decide how you live. And once you do that, you move away from the victim's mindset, because it seems like we are in a society full of, there's a victim's mentality that my ex was a narcissist, or this guy's a narcissist, or that girl's a narcissist, or they're toxic, and it's all about their fault, but never our fault, or never my fault. It takes two to tango. That might be 60% of them, 40% of you, 70% of them, 30% of you, or even 50-50. But you need to be able to look in the mirror and realize it's my fault as well. So once you move away from the victim's mindset, then you finally start taking responsibility for the people that you allow to come into your life. And when you do that, you start building your confidence and self-worth, instead letting other people or society determine that for you. So see, that's how you heal. And you can do this with a therapist, with a coach, with a friend, by yourself, but you actually need to do the work. And I see that if more people did the work, if more people were healthy, if more people understood themselves better, then dating would be so much easier, because now people know exactly what they're looking for, and they're not following their ego, they're following their intuition. And the fifth different reason, there are not enough IRL encounters. There are not enough in real life encounters. Now they live in a world that it seems like everything is connected, or we're all connected, because we can FaceTime, DM, call, anything. We're disconnected more than ever. We are not supposed to be looking at the screen all day long. We're supposed to have in-person encounters. We are supposed to bond in real life. We're not supposed to bond over text message, over meme sharing, or just FaceTime. See, the problem is that we're so afraid of rejection, and I include myself in that boat. I understand how it is that approaching people, whether just to establish a friendship or possibly a romantic connection or a romantic relationship, it is scary, it's terrifying, and I see a lot of guys struggle with this. It's so easy, it's so much easier to swipe right or left, or to slide into somebody's DMs, and guys are using Me Too movement as an excuse, as a lifeline. According to Adler's psychology, lifeline is an excuse or a lie we tell ourselves to justify our actions or even lack of actions. And it's the perfect thing, because we as a guy, we can say, well, I don't want to approach a girl because she's gonna think that I'm a creeper, or she's gonna think that I'm harassing her, or it's better safe than sorry. I don't wanna put myself in that position. And you say, and if you're a guy and you tell that to other guys, and you tell that to women, it is perfectly justified. It's, oh, we understand that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But deep inside, we know that we're using that as an excuse not to get rejected, not to feel embarrassed, and not to feel shame. And that's why I said that Me Too movement was one of the worst things that could happen for young men, from that point of view, that they can use that as a lifeline. Now, Me Too movement needed to happen. A lot of bad things happened to women, and I'm glad that it came to light, and it keeps growing, and more people are speaking up. I'm glad, and once again, it needed to happen. But for men, it created this perfect like excuse not to approach. And I'm not saying, because it is scary to approach, I'm not saying that you need to cold approach a girl at a bar or at a park. You can easily just start joining groups or activities that you enjoy. And this could be trivia nights, or board games, or hiking, or running, or book club, something that you can build rapport with somebody and start sort of creating a connection, even from a friendship standpoint. And then you can escalate that to possibly start dating that person, because that will give you a better chance of finding somebody that aligns with your values and with things that you like to do. And for the women out there, I get it. I understand that we are the chasers, we're the pursuers, we're the ones who need to seduce you, we're the ones who need to take the lead, take action. I get it. But sometimes you should consider not necessarily making the first move, but making a move that it would help you get a date with a guy. If you truly like a guy and the guy's not making a move, there are many reasons why this person might not be making a move, but usually there are two main reasons. Either one, the guy is oblivious to your hints, like he's in his own universe and world, and he doesn't see these little hints and how you're flirting with him. Or number two, he sort of sees that, but he's not sure that you really like him. Because for us guys, there are three reasons why a girl might have this behavior. One, she's just being nice to us, and we don't want to confuse that with maybe she likes us. Because if you just be nice to us and we ask you out, and then you realize, he thought I was flirting, then it will put both of us in a very uncomfortable situation. Reason number two, there are some women out there, some girls out there that will just flirt to get attention. They just want to feel that they still have it, and they just want to get the validation that they are attractive, but they're just playing with you. I'm not saying that all girls like that. I'm not saying that every woman out there does it, but there are some of them that do. And reason number three, that she actually likes us. So what happens is we have 67% chances of getting it wrong, and only 33% of the chances that we actually get it right, that she likes us. So imagine us as men, or even yourself. Imagine that you're going skydiving, and the instructors tell you, by the way, the parachute will only work 33% of the chances. 67% of the chances it's not going to work. So imagine this. Imagine you're never going to skydiving. If I have 67% chances of not working, of quote unquote dying, of course I'm not going to do it. And for guys, it's that way. It's like, okay, if there are only 33% chances of those signs to be really her showing me that she likes me, then I'm not taking my chances. It's too risky. It's not even 50-50. It's not even a coin flip. It's like, I'm not. So if you see a guy that you truly like, and you see his values, his personality, and you see that you can maybe have something with him, or you want to explore, I'm not saying ask him out right from the get-go, because I know that you probably wouldn't. But what I would suggest is either through a text message or in person, just tell this person, hey, by the way, just so you know, if you ask me out, I would say yes. Simple as that. Just so you know, if you ask me out, I would say yes. Very simple. You're putting the ball on his court and letting him know, by the way, I like you for who you are, so it's okay if you like me too, then we can go on a date. That guy will feel a lot less pressure going asking you out first and going out on the first date, because now he doesn't feel like, okay, I need to come up with reasons or ways to really impress her, because he knows that you like him for who he is. I'm not, again, doesn't mean that the guy cannot lead. The guy will lead more times than not, but if you help him, and help yourself by helping him. And if the guy doesn't lead after 5-6 dates, then you can move on. But more times than not, trust me, the guy will be a natural leader and will lead the relationship or even the dating stages, but you need to help each other. So you don't have to do it with everyone, with every guy, but if you follow your intuition and there's a guy that you feel doesn't want to feel that it's going to work out, try that. Just simple. Just so you know, if you ask me out, I would say yes. So to put all the 5 points again, number 1, or belief, I would say unrealistic expectations. Number 2, the inability to see what you can build with a person that doesn't have everything on your laundry list. Number 3, dating multiple people at the same time during the early stages of dating. Number 4, a bunch of unhealthy people dating a bunch of unhealthy people, not doing the work and going out for dating. And number 5, not having enough in real life encounters. Now, take this with a grain of salt. This is my belief. This is how I see the world. This is my perception. I might be right. I might be wrong. I might be somewhat right, somewhat wrong. I don't really care. This is just, I wanted to share with you to see if you can invite you to think a little bit more and see it from different angles. And by basically changing that behavior, by changing your behavior, you might change your results, because at the end of the day, you have been doing this for far too long without seeing any results. So yes, that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.